So, hey guys, obviously Marlene has infiltrated these chats and she doesn't want me to. Now I'm trying to pull up the chat window and I can't find it. She doesn't want me to talk to you guys. So basically, she's trying to stop these live chats, which makes total sense. So it was so weird because I was trying to connect and it just wouldn't let me connect forever and ever and ever. So I had to shut it down and start all over again. So I always seem to have some kind of issues with these chats, and I don't think it's a coincidence. Like, I really think Marlene and Oliver and those people are like, we have to shut this girl down. So I'm sorry for the slight delay, and thank you guys so much for being here. I know that there are a ton of you in the room, and I really appreciate that. Um, so hi, it's funny reading your comments right now. Tanner's hair looks bad, and honestly, I just saw this comment from Rock Music. It looks like she just forgot to dye it or something. Like, it looked grayer than normal. I don't know. I think she's like the most useless character ever. I'm trying to figure out why she is back on the show again. Hi, Jonika. Hi, Lindy. Hi, Emma. Hi, Mark. Hi, Francois. Hi, Rock Music. Leah, Janice, Gokai, Audrey, Vanessa. Is it Vanessa or Vanessa? Julian, Stephanie, thank you guys so much for being here. I love you guys. And yeah, Tanner's curls are on fleek. Yeah, she looks amazing. Hi, Purple Sunstar. So basically, guys, yes, Tanner does look like she's aged like 50 years, not 5. Wow, comment of the day so far, Emma. Yeah, it was weird. I mean, not like she's a younger person, but she looked much worse, much worse. Thanks. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate it. I kind of did something a little bit different with my hair today. The hole that Aria and Spencer were in, Audrey, to me was so ridiculous. Let me just start by saying I did not like this episode. I was so bored, and I was very distracted last night, and so when I was watching it live, I was like, maybe I just didn't give the episode a chance, because like halfway through I made food and I was just really not paying attention. I was like, maybe it's on me. So today I watched it again and I was like, I still am having trouble paying attention and I have nothing else going on. Like, I'm trying really hard to watch this. So I don't know. To be honest, I thought that last week's episode was the best, as you know, of the season so far. And I was like, maybe it's going to pick up and we're going to have some better episodes here. But I felt like last night's episode was a complete waste. I don't know what the purpose was. Maybe there was a couple little things in there that are helpful. But as Emma is saying, and a lot of you are saying, it was boring and nothing happened. Janice says it was another really boring episode. We didn't find anything out. And like, that's what I don't understand about this show. If they're out of material, why do we keep on with the show? Like, if you have to have episodes where nothing happens, maybe it's time to say goodbye, because you must not have anything else to give us if you have to drag it out like that. That's just where I'm confused. Hi, Reese. Thank you so much for being here for the first time. I appreciate that. So I also agree with Rock Music's comment here. Hates how Tanner blames the girls for Cece's death and for people who have died in Rosewood. It's not the girl's fault. I felt like it was really ridiculous that she would even bring that up. To me, there was a few ridiculous moments in this episode. One of the cool things that I thought in this episode was a quote from Hannah. And she said something like, I don't know why we can't leave this town and why we keep coming back. Something like that. I wrote it down. But I was like, that's what I've been asking, especially 5 years later when these people have graduated, they're adults, they don't have to live at home anymore. I get that the police wanted them back, I guess, for a little bit of time, but I'm still confused why they don't just leave and go back to the lives that they've established for themselves. I mean, I'm so confused. Emma says Detective Bad Perm needs to go away with Shower Harvey. Definitely. So Tony says it was weird when Arya and Spencer thought of telling Mrs. Marin about the hole in the wall. Surely they would get in trouble, as they shouldn't have been in Sarah's room. Well, I just feel like the whole hole in the wall thing is a bit ridiculous, a bit far-fetched. Again, the show isn't realistic. I get that. But there was, I guess, basically part of old Radley was left untouched when they built the Radley Hotel. Hi, Lexi. Thank you so much for being here. And so Sarah was able to access like this part, the old part, from her hotel room so she could go in and out without being captured on camera. But, I still don't think that Sarah is the main villain. And, to me, she's a red herring. So I don't know. Mark is saying everything is a repeat of season 1. Spencer's mom was ill, just like season 1. Melissa is a red herring, just like season 1. So, right. So we know that Spencer's mom has had breast cancer. We did learn that from this episode. And we also learned that, surprisingly, and I say that completely sarcastically, something has happened. There was a malfunction at the clinic where Emily had her eggs. What's the word for that? Retracted? Harvested? That's it. So her eggs have disappeared. They think they're destroyed, but we know that I'm sure this new A person has the eggs, and who knows what they're going to do with them. I also felt like A was acting silly. I don't think we got like the emoji tweets, but I thought that the breakfast platter delivered to Hannah, where the eggs were made into like a face, was really silly. It was like middle schoolish. And I'll mention this other show quickly because a lot of you guys told me to watch. So I've been watching Scream season 1, which I think is incredible. And I really think PLL should watch that, the writers, because they do such a good job with some of the same elements of PLL, because we have this crazy person calling and texting people. But when they do that in that show, it is legit scary. It's legit intimidating. They don't send a plate of breakfast food with a face to be like, I'm going to kill you. Obviously this person is a serial killer, in Scream, and we really don't have, we have a killer, but I feel like this killer is way more intimidating than Scream. But anyway, even Scream, the show, has made fun of PLL. So I think that tells you something. I just feel like, I don't think PLL knows what it wants to be. Like, it's not scary. It's not really, it's not realistic. It's just, I think it's very confused at this point. Ben says there's a lot of stuff now in PLL that is so childish. I completely agree. Tony thinks Sarah's definitely not A. I completely agree with that. Right, exactly. So I think Purple Star, she just donated some of her eggs, not all of them, and someone has probably stolen them. There wasn't a malfunction at that clinic. It was a break-in or whatever from A. Hi, Cora. Thank you so much for being here. So Vanessa would rather have Ian or Ren be A. Well, sure. And like at this point, and I think I've told you guys this, any of the old characters who have been on, or even people who've disappeared, even if they make Jenna A or Ian, or I guess Ian's dead, I don't know, whatever, I could accept that more than like Sarah being A, someone's new boyfriend being A, Dr. Rollins being A. And it also seemed like Dr. Rollins and Allie were getting closer in this episode. Francois laughed for the first time at PLL when A cleaned the device at the end to whistle while you work. So yeah, what exactly was A doing? That was basically a song from Snow White is all that I could think of when I was watching that. They're trying to frame Melissa again, saying like the piece that broke off from her suitcase was used as possibly, I guess, the weapon to kill Cece, I guess that's where they're going there. Gokai actually loves all the new ships like Hardin and Spaleb and Lyria and Rollison and Spoby and Rollison or Emerson. That's a lot. I mean, I'm trying to think like who, yeah, I get what you're saying. I know a lot of people don't like the new ships. I don't know. At this point, I don't even really care. I mean, I know that's awful, but I don't really even care about who's dating who, I guess. So A is one of the 7 dwarves. That has finally been figured out, says Emma. I don't know. I don't know what A was doing at the end there. Maybe you guys know. I really don't know. Rin is A and Cece lied. He's the real Charles and Cece is actually Bethany. You have faith if the show isn't that stupid, says Alexis. Well, I mean, I'm hoping they can prove me wrong. I don't know. Because I don't know if they're going to go there, to be honest. I really don't know if they're going to go with having Rin be this new A after so many people suspected him and he wasn't. I don't know. We'll see. Hi, Tony. Thank you for being here. The other Tony. We've got 2 Tonys, Tony Rose and Tony Random. Yeah, that's how we say your last part of your name. Rock Music doesn't think Melissa killed Cece. I don't think so. Like anytime that they're trying to make someone look guilty, they're not guilty, you know? So I think Melissa's just another red herring. There we go. Lindy says Aria was Snow White for prom. A was cleaning to a song from Snow White. Boom, Aria is A. Well, hey, I don't know. I guess they were trying to give us a clue there with that song. What was he doing though? What was he cleaning? Tony Rose says maybe A is young. I think that it appears that this person is young. But then again, when you look at where we are in the show and everyone's supposed to be 5 years older, who do we have in the cast who's a younger person, as in younger than the girls? Who do we have besides like Mike, who would probably be 20 or something by now? He's not even, hasn't been on the show. I can't think of any like high schoolish people who are still on the show, right? Yes, Tanner's hair was absolutely awful, Ben. I agree. Courtney says Ren being A and Cece being Bethany is literally the only way the show can be redeemed. I'm with you, because if that happens, then I think I would be okay with it, even if they do a bad job of explaining it, But yeah, I mean, I just don't feel like anyone's young enough to be acting this silly as the new A. So I don't know. Court says if the guy who plays Ren would not come back to the show, feel like the show is going downhill fast. I know. I feel like Julian said he's not coming back, or maybe he's just coming back on a limited basis. I don't know. Hi, Victoria. Thank you so much for being here. I feel like I read that somewhere. Reese is asking if I feel like Big Bad will be someone we know. Well, honestly, I hope for the sake of the show it is, because I hope for the writers it is, because I can't imagine how people are going to react if Dr. Rollins or someone is Big Bad. Like, I would hate to own Marlene's Twitter. I would hate to be Marlene because can you imagine her social media? I mean, if someone really terrible ends up being Big Bad, like, people will absolutely freak out. There's some really strange comments in here today. Hi, Noodles. Thank you so much for being here. Gokai's telling me all the different ships. Thank you, Gokai. Court says, oh, you're saying if Ren/Julian was smart enough, he wouldn't come back to the show. Yeah, I know. Like, I really wonder sometimes if some of these actors don't think like, man, why am I still doing this? But maybe the money's really good. I don't know. Don't you have to think like when they read a script, like the one last night, they're thinking like, what are we doing? But maybe they know more about how this season's going to end or how season 7 is going to play out, and maybe this episode made sense to them. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. Why would Emily think there was a freezer in the tunnel? The logic is unbelievable. I don't know. I really don't think we can watch the show and have like a realistic mind, because really it's not. It's just I don't know why I used to think this show was based in reality, and I'm not saying that with shade. Like, I just feel like it's not a realistic show. So whenever I watch it and something doesn't make sense anymore, I'm just like, okay, like I'm just so used to it. I'm like, obviously this show is in a different like time zone, or it's in a time, I mean, not really time zone, but it's just like, it's not based in reality, Rock Music really hates how they made New A, thought they put it in the past when they did 5 years. I'm okay with Who Killed Cece, but not with a new A. Well, apparently people who read the book say that there's multiple A's, and I honestly do not like that at all. But if it was in the books, whatever, I can live with it. But the problem is I don't think they're executing it well. Like, I don't mind, I guess, really, if they want to have another A, although it's exhausting. I feel confused because I didn't read the books, and maybe some of you felt this way. But I really felt when they revealed Cece, like she was our ultimate A. Did anyone else think that? And the only time I quit thinking that was when I think after the reveal, they showed the preview where they were scared of some other person, like a guy. We haven't even seen that episode yet, but that was sometime last year, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, I was really hoping that we just had one big A in this, but we don't. Francois says, love seeing the flashback of Hannah and Caleb. It was a sad moment, but it was good to see them in that moment. Yeah, I thought that was kind of an interesting flashback because we really never knew what happened to that relationship. And so we could kind of see some of the difficulties that they were having in New York by taking a look in the past at some of the arguments, I guess, that they had. I don't know. Reese is asking, who is that he? Because we've all seen that preview for an episode which we haven't seen, but it's where Allison's in the classroom and she's married. So we're probably not going to see that till next season, is what I think. And the girls, Shannon said that he's back or something like that. So I don't know. Audrey said, but we still had a good Caleb scene, and that's good. Yeah, I mean, they were, talking together, and I don't know if that means anything for those of you who want them back together, but Janice is asking if I can explain the Caleb and Mona scene. Well, okay, that's a good question. So I guess I've totally blanked out on this. when they were like in the elevator together. So when did they hook up? Because she was asking like who was the best kisser? Was it her or Spencer or Hannah? Have I just completely, I guess I've completely forgotten about them hooking up completely. Oh, Charles is back again, watching from his lair. Even has the Charles avatar. Thank you so much for being here. Don't crash my show. I think it was you who almost didn't get the show started today. They kissed back in season 2 to prove that Melissa was A. Okay, thank you, Emma. So I'm not sure what you were asking me. Who was asking me about that? Janice, but I don't know what more to explain with that other than, well, okay, and I guess he was kind of calling her out, saying like basically, if you have anything to do with this A stuff, you know, he's gonna make you, or I'm gonna make you pay or whatever. But I just felt like we had some kind of clever moments in last week's episode, but in this week's episode, we just lost everything that they kind of everything that kind of felt promising to me in last week's episode was kind of just lost in this episode, you know. Tony Rose is asking what's the main point of this episode. Like, I don't know. They explored that tunnel. Hannah and Jordan hooked up in a really weird place. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Like I was saying, unless this was a connection to something else in the future and we can go back. Although with this show, you know, but I don't know. Francois says Spencer really needs to tell her mom about the medical files. Why didn't she? I don't know. Something that very, you know, I'm sorry that her mom is sick. That is sad. It really is. But something that bothers me or bores me again about this episode, not this episode, this half of the season, is the attention on her mom running for running for office. I guess that's really going to play into something somehow with A, but I just, I'll like really tune out when they talk about that. It's time to bring Maya back. No, the time to bring Maya back is gone. I don't think Maya's coming back, Lindy. I mean, Marlene said she wasn't, so I agree with you. Janice says Charles is Ian and Cece was covering for Ian. Well, isn't he supposed to be dead though? I don't know. I don't know. Did anyone think that Caleb was kind of a jerk in the flashback with Hannah? Well, that's what Kristen's asking. Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I feel like we're only getting a portion of what was going on with their relationship at the time. And, you know, I'm sure you guys know from personal experience or from watching others, people can be like super duper in love and then over time just things go wrong and they don't react the same way to each other because they're over it or they're having outside issues. So maybe, there was just a lot of different things going on that we don't really know about since it's been 5 years. Not saying that I'm taken up for him, but I'm just saying, you know, right. He was acting like a jerk and Hannah just wanted him to be normal and have everything be okay. But I don't know what was going on, really. I think there was more stuff going on. Emily and Hannah look really pretty this season, says Tony Random. Yes, I agree. I'm probably reading your name wrong, am I? Because I always read it that way when I see your name. Francois didn't think Caleb was a jerk. Actually got where he was coming from. Okay, so this is from a guy's point of view. Because, yeah, I can see both sides of that argument, but I don't know if he was, like, struggling with his job and, you know, he was disappointed in where he was and stuff. And sometimes that can take a toll on a relationship. Yeah, I think Maya is not coming back. I just feel like the Maya storyline's dead. I don't know. And I have to say it doesn't make sense because they really did throw out a lot of clues in 6A about her. But I don't think, has there been any clues this part of the season? Because I don't really think there have been. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Deja, I think. Hopefully that's how you say your name. Mark hopes the show comes back for season 8 just for it to be canceled after 2 episodes. That way Marlene can regret all the crap she gave us. Well, I hope it doesn't come back for season 8 because, like, when we have an episode, you know, I keep it real, but when we have an episode like we have last night, I'm like, man, I don't know what to do with this show. Like, it's hard for me to, I mean, it's very hard for me sometimes to keep the motivation up to watch when they throw us an episode that they did last night, because to me that was just like someone not caring and throwing a bunch of crap to put it on the air. I don't know. Noodles believes the kiss was being brought up was alluding to the fact that Melissa has been A all along. Well, I can accept Melissa being A if they want to go there. That's fine with me because at least Melissa's been around forever. However, I just feel red herring. I think season 7 has been confirmed, Courtney. It was good to see Ezra, as Francois was saying. Do I believe he had a 3-hour chat with some guy named Chuck or whatever it was? Not saying he's A, but I'm happy he's back. Well, I mean, if they made him A, like, oh my gosh, do you know how happy I would be? But I don't know. I get kind of lost in that storyline too because Liam bores me. And then when they start talking about the book and everything, I just feel like, wow, snooze fest, you know? I don't know. So Tony Rose says, rewatching season 1 and it was so obvious Mona was A. Michael says it really bothers him how everyone praises Marlene. Well, I don't know. I mean, if you guys are here and you love Marlene, what, that's your prerogative, I guess. But, at this point, I wish that at least each episode would be worth us watching and putting our time into. And I feel like last night's was not. I can't really find any parts where I was like, wow, I'm really glad that I spent an hour on this or whatever. Yeah, I don't want people to come back from the dead either, Lindy. I think that's been played out so many times and ridiculous. Do I think that Caleb cheated on Hannah with Mona during the time jump, or if that's what? No, I don't think. I think they don't like each other. I don't think so. I just think they were insinuating that Mona's shady, maybe Melissa's A or shady or whatever. Garrett was pointless, yes. How can people like Marlene when she can't even make things make sense? I don't know. I'm just exhausted with her. Very good, positive point here, Francois, that we were shower Harvey-less in this episode, which did make me very happy. Megan's a little bit late, but that's okay. Thank you so much for being here. Doesn't matter when you guys stop in. I appreciate you coming. Caleb is sketchy, says Tony. Well, he was sketchy for me basically for most of the show. And there were times that I really thought that he could be A because I really don't think the show has ever made him seem like he's A. But that would be amazing. But, his PLL. So Lexi says Caleb didn't cheat on Hannah with Mona. Caleb and Mona kissed once, but it was part of a plan that Hannah was in on. And that was a long time ago, and I actually forgot about it. I wonder when Arya is going to tell Ezra she already wrote his book for him. I don't know, Noodles. That'll be interesting. He probably, I don't know if he'll like that. Probably not. Feel like Caleb cheated on me with Spencer and Mona, says Lindy. He did. And I mean, that's terrible, and he should pay for it. Mark read a comment online that said the plot holes are good because they keep us interested in the show. I can't understand the people who watch PLL. Well, you watch PLL. That's the contradiction, I mean, I don't know. It's hard because people are like, well, why do you watch? Well, you guys know why I watch. I can't give the speech every time. But, yeah, I don't. But when I was watching last night, I was thinking, like, well, when people ask me, why do I watch? Here's one of these moments where I'm like, I really don't know. I don't know anymore. So Alexa says this is the second part of the season and it needs to be more interesting at this point. It needed to be a lot of things because they knew how disappointed everyone was, or most people were, from the reveal of Cece. So they needed to really make 6 be epic or have some just crazy amazing moments. And I'm not saying that every episode had to be fantastic because, for most shows, every episode isn't fantastic, but I can't help but to compare it to other shows that I'm watching that are, currently on or will be back on. And it doesn't hold a candle to any of those shows. And I know other people have to compare it to. That's just life. And because it's a certain type of show, it's in the genre of Scream, the TV series, sort of in the genre of Scream Queens. And I think those are just way better executed. You're loving that Crazy Mona is back. Yeah, Crazy Shady Mona is back, Janice. Hi, Chris. Thank you so much for being here. Lindy's telling me to watch Tyler Hollywood Medium. Yeah, I actually saw him because he was on a Keeping Up with the Kardashians episode, and he seemed really nice and really cool. What if Arya's parents killed Charlotte? Ezra said both Arya's parents saw him that night Charlotte died. But I thought they had an alibi, right? Weren't they somewhere? Were they at the hotel or something celebrating the fact that they're engaged again? I don't know. Did they have an alibi when she was murdered? When did Caleb and Spencer officially become a couple? Sometime in 6B. Pretty much, maybe it was like a couple of episodes ago. I don't know. Feel like the show can't make up its mind whether Allie is really friends with the liars or enemies. Yeah, I mean, it was good to see her back on this episode, but I just feel like the entire show is confused, to be honest. So Nate says Charlotte got hit in the neck by the suitcase handle and what happened with her skin peeling and her spine. I don't know. So yes, I can buy that someone used Melissa's suitcase as a weapon, but that doesn't mean Melissa did it. I think that's too red herring-ish. I disagree that Scream followed PLL because I've watched all the Scream movies, and Scream, the series, follows the Scream movies, and those movies are really old if you've never seen them. Like the first one came out, I can't even tell you, maybe the 90s. So it's very much like the movies, to be honest. And it's so much better than Pretty Little Liars, in my opinion. But if you haven't seen the Scream movies and you enjoy the Scream show, I would still watch them. The first Scream is by far my favorite, and I feel like after that they get quite predictable. But the first one's really good. It was, I don't know. It was just, I just loved it. So you liked Allie better when she was mean, says Alexis. Yeah, kind of did too. I kind of did too when she was scared and everyone was scared of her. I agree with Lindy. I love Jason. Like, I love a lot of guys on this show, so, but I think he's super cute. And I think he's a little confused and strange and could be a killer, but I would like to see him. I don't mind seeing him again. Nate feels bad for Charlotte. Well, I'm sorry that she died, but I don't know. She was pretty out of control when she was alive. Maybe someone was making her do all that stuff. I don't know. Massimo, hi. Have I heard the theory that states Sarah is Charles and Charles is Bethany, or Charlotte? Hold on. That states Sarah is Charles and Charlotte is Bethany. I feel like maybe I saw that on YouTube somewhere. Again, like sometimes I just look up theory videos, and there's a bunch of new ones out there for 6B on YouTube, and I just am like, wow, some of those are so good. And you know what? People have taken the show, even after knowing that Cece was A and everything, and they've still come up with like these fantastic theories. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like really and truly, they could redeem the show if they went in the direction of some of these people who are making YouTube videos. It just kills me that they don't take it in that direction. Hi, Chloe. Thank you for being here. The theory about Sarah being Charles and Cece is good and makes sense. Well, somebody tweet that video to me because I've watched several of them, and after a while they kind of blend, but I wouldn't mind seeing that one. Massimo hopes the show explains all the plot holes and fills in the gaps. Only then could you totally love the show. Yeah, I'm not saying I cannot like it again, or I can't really like it, but right now I'm struggling. Robella, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, feels like this episode was nothing nothing useful. I agree. Two Crows. Why does that sound familiar? So that was the mention of a restaurant, right? That is somehow important or some kind of clue. I don't know. But considering they love to do Hitchcock references, he had a movie called The Birds. I don't know if that goes with that or not, but we'll see. Lindy says Marlene killed Charlotte to try to make up for the CC reveal. Really, do you think so? I mean, I'm glad, honestly, because I really didn't want to deal with that character anymore. But I don't know. I guess we should be happy that we don't have to deal with her. So there's a big bad and Charlotte's killer separate people, says Reese. Yes, I definitely think that two people are involved here. And Tony feels like the whole dream logic thing ruined the magic of the show. I do feel like we're in dream logic every episode that I watch of this show anymore. Thank you so much for being here, Jackie. I appreciate it. Is Big Bad the official A? I guess. I mean, even in last night's episode, weren't they talking about like what to call this person? I think Caleb was calling them A, and Spencer was like, well, we don't know if they're A, right? I thought that was interesting because I feel like we have had this discussion before in these chats because everyone kind of calls this person something different, like this new A person. Some people call them Big Bad, or some people call them Uber A. I just keep calling them like the new A, the current A, because I don't know if we really know who they are at this point. I think Charlotte was on the phone with Uber A. Wow. When? When was Charlotte on the phone? Oh my gosh, I'm lost. Do I think there's going to be a twin? Ask Holly. Yeah, I think that's really, really, really possible. Honestly, if there is not a twin, I don't understand all the twin clues that they've given us. Do you? I mean, how many twin clues have they given us through this show? Like, I'm just going to be really, I can't even say upset. I'll just be super confused if there's never a twin. I feel like they do a lot of things where they throw out massive clues and and you really start thinking about them. And, back before the CC reveal, people would spend a lot of time dissecting those clues and making videos and everything. And then they never went anywhere. So I'm kind of reluctant to say anything about any type of clues or anything that was planted, because I really don't know sometimes if the stuff they throw in even makes any kind of sense, or if it even has anything to do with anything. I would love it if the twin was the new A, says Megan, and some people think that's what it's going to be. Like Liam, there was way too much time wasted. I don't know what his point is. I mean, I do understand that the girls have moved on, and it's fine to me that they met new guys and met people from outside of Rosewood. That makes sense. That happens in life. On the other hand, I think we're all exhausted with new characters. So we have quite a few to deal with now. And they seem to get a lot of screen time, and I don't know their purpose at this point in the show. If this show is a drama, maybe it would make sense because we need to know about the relationships and blah, 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 but it's not. I don't know. They're probably going to spend so much time doing flashbacks that the current plot is going to kind of be stopped, says Purple Sunstar. Massimo says the twin should be Bethany and another character, so her plot line would be more interesting. Well, I don't know when the last time was that they've mentioned Bethany, but I feel like it's been quite a while. Sometimes I think, they're never going to talk about her again. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, people get completely dropped. Plots get dropped, storylines get dropped. Eddie Lamb is a great example that I always throw out there. Chloe had a dream last night that Caleb and Spencer turned out to be the twins. How sickening. But honestly, this show would go there because they had Jason and Cece hooking up. So the personal storylines are so boring, says Jonathan. I so agree. So agree. Do we know the gender of Emoji A? Because for some reason I think it's a guy, but I don't know. For some reason I think it's a girl, but I have no idea. I don't know. Nate says Marlene will definitely make Dr. Rollins A, even though wouldn't like that. Marlene would do that. Oh gosh. I know several people have said that, but please. Catherine, these chats start at 6 p.m. Eastern time every Wednesday. So if you just came in, you've missed about 30 minutes, but that's okay. If you didn't know, if you're new here, this chat will show up for its entirety on my channel like 5 minutes after this one ends. So you can always go back and watch the parts that you've missed and leave me comments there if I didn't get to your comment, or if you think of something, and I will always reply to those comments. This new A looks a bit amateur, doesn't it? What do you think, says Jillian. Absolutely. I was tweeting that last night. Just a disclaimer, not a disclaimer, but a PSA. If you have a Twitter account, you want to follow me on Kelly_TV, because that's pretty much how you keep up with me and know what is going on with me. I also live tweet pretty much all the shows that I do videos on. But I was definitely saying the fact to me that they have all the faces and emojis, basically not faces, emojis when they're doing the sinister tweets. And the plate of food last night with the eggs made into a face seemed kind of silly and not what you would do if you were, trying to really scare someone or threaten them or threaten their life, honestly thought that the whole narrow path from under Radley was going to lead all the way to the dollhouse, says Gokai. Honestly, I thought the same thing. I thought it was going to be like, a pathway to A's lair, which I guess it would kind of make sense because Sarah used to be in there, but wouldn't be surprised if Marlene tries to squeeze in all the answers into the series finale, or even better, Noodles, if she just tells us a few things and then waits for people to ask her on Twitter to explain really big things, and then explain some things in interviews that we all have to search the internet to find. Martin is here. Thank you so much for being here. Well, we're just kind of going over the same topics, so you really didn't miss that much. But Martin, this whole show will be on my channel as soon as it ends, so you can go back and watch the first 35 minutes. PLL should do a type of clue-themed episode, says Alexis. Yeah, I think that would be really cool, actually. There's so many hints that Jordan is the new A. Oh, gosh. This is what Massimo's saying. Could list them all, but don't want to spam all of this, but I really hope it isn't him. I started thinking about him last night because, honestly, so for those of you saying Caleb was rude, I felt he was being unnecessarily rude to Hannah and not understanding. And I know he can't really understand things as much as people who have been through all of it. But when he was acting kind of strange, I started to think, oh gosh, I really hope this guy isn't A, because how ridiculous would that be? But they were kind of low-key hinting it. I felt like low-key hinting that this guy was, had something going on. And I mean, they also kind of low key hinted it, in my opinion, when they were saying that Hannah told him everything about A, but Arya hadn't told Liam anything. So now he's clued in, or maybe he already knew, or I don't know. Please. Emma is done if Jordan is A. I really think if Jordan or Liam or Dr. Rollins or someone new that we haven't even met ends up being A, that people are going to freak. I mean, I can't imagine it. Yeah, I was feeling good about the Caleb feels, Martin. I was like, wow, I like seeing them together. I have hope for them. Maybe, I've always said that Jordan seems too good to be true. And last night he wasn't like terrible, but he wasn't so amazing as he has been. And I started thinking, right, as Kristen just said, Jordan is way too perfect, which means something is up with him. I completely agree. He just seemed really dismissive and not really caring about her. He just seemed to blow her off a lot last night, I thought. Massimo really wishes there were more to the night Allison disappeared. It was sort of boring how it turned out. Wish the liars did something to A that they can't remember because they were drugged. I know. They had really played that up, and I thought that that was just going to be the most amazing thing when we found out the backstory, and yeah, not really. Megan would be happiest if a twin was A. I guess that would be okay. At the same point, I don't feel like I would be so happy with that just because we wouldn't know that twin, Like, I would rather it be, if like, okay, for example, if like Arya has a twin, I would rather Arya be the evil one than the twin who we don't know, even though the person looks like her. Mark says that Yvonne is probably A because she would be stupid as A and has no clues leading towards her, so that's why it's probably her. Totally. Absolutely. Massimo's glad we had the Halo flashback. Why can't we have flashbacks with the other couples, even Sarah? I think that was one of the smarter things that they did, because I know a lot of us were wondering, like Caleb seemed to be such a good couple, and we were all like, well, how did this go wrong? So now we were seeing that they had some issues, and I think it was interesting to help us figure out why they're not together anymore. Yeah, thank you, Nate. Mona, where am I getting that? Mona and Caleb kissed in season 2. And I just forgot about it. Gokai's wondering who is better for Allison, Emily or Dr. Rollins? Well, Emily, because we can trust her. Dr. Rollins may be like the killer. He's probably A. Rock Music would love if they did an episode flashback of the night of Cece's death. I wish they would. That would be so, so cool. And as a lot of you have said, if they could just do at least one episode from A's point of view, we never see A's point of view. Do I ship Emerson? Well, yeah, sure. I think it's a lot better than anyone, honestly, that Emily has been with. Now that I feel like we can trust Allison a little bit more. But I feel like Emily's always picking the wrong people to date, so I don't know. And I don't think Maya's coming back. So, I can handle that. But I don't think it's going to happen, really, because I feel like, well, we know that Allie's going to get married because we've seen the previews. So there's an awesome theory about Mona and Dr. Rollins being the one who killed Charlotte, about the movie Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte, and another movie, can't remember the name, though. Well, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to explain Dr. Rollins and what his role is in this, but my gosh, I don't know. I think they're going to have some crazy mad people if that's true. Okay, so Janice says, who was face-to-face with Spencer in the dollhouse? Couldn't be Cece because it was a man. You're talking about the person who had the mask on? I don't know. I mean, I guess what they're going to try to say is that there was a mastermind in the dollhouse who was telling Cece what to do and whatever. So I guess this could be this person who's taken over the A thing. I don't know. But at the same time, I feel like this person's main motivation is just trying to bully the girls into telling them, like, did they kill Charlotte or who killed Charlotte? So sometimes I think, well, maybe it's Allison. Because, I mean, she's the only one who really seemed to care about Charlotte and would care if she was murdered. Because you have to think, if that is their whole motivation, which it is, it seems to be, their motivation for harassing the girls now is because they want to know the answers about who killed Charlotte. Well, who would care? How many people would care? Unless it's a sibling that we don't know about or something. I mean, shouldn't that narrow it down? So Francois is wondering why Bianca Lawson, who is Maya, can't come back. Well, Marlene swears up and down that she is just not coming back, and that's not in the cards. But the funny thing is, and I read this interview, she said that she never meant to give fans the impression that she was coming back. What? I mean, there are so many clues to that in season 6A. I don't understand why you put those there. Like, you don't have to put, you never have to mention her again because really she's not relevant if she's never coming back. If she's really not a relevant piece of our story, don't mention her again. But they did. So I don't know. Maybe Shower Harvey used the shower to break the hole in the wall, says Emma. Yes, I think she just tunneled through her shower to make. That's why she was always in the shower. She was trying to build tunnels. Um, Vanessa thinks that Mike killed Charlotte because she put Mona through so much pain. Really? I mean, man, we haven't seen him in so long. That would be really out there if that was true, but you know, there's really not a bad guess for who could be A because they literally could be anyone. Holly says maybe A is the other girl that the red sleeve, aka Spencer, pulled one out and the old woman pulled out Allie. I am a bit lost there, Holly. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm having trouble figuring out what you're saying there, so help me out. At the end, the new, wow, hold on just a second. Rock music scene at the end with new A looks like the same place that was in the tunnel. Well, that's a really good possibility. Reese says if Marlene makes a random person A, she should stop writing now or she will get no views on other shows. Well, I'll just be honest. If she does come out with more stuff, I probably am not going to watch it because considering her track record on this show, I'm probably not going to get involved with her stuff again, even if it's a comedy or whatever. I just don't know if I can deal with it. Massimo says everyone thinks Dr. Rollins is the new A, and to be honest, he probably is. Really hope not, though. Absolutely think that would be terrible. I don't even think of a scenario where they could tell us something that makes sense or that a backstory he has or whatever his story is that we don't know, where I would be like, oh, now it makes sense. I can totally agree with this. That totally makes sense. So Holly's talking about Mrs. Grunwald. Yeah, I guess. I haven't seen her in forever. So I don't know. That character kind of bugged me too, right? Did she bug you? Mark refuses to believe that Maya is dead until the show is over. She said Maya isn't coming back, which obviously means she's coming back because she lies about everything. Probably. I don't know why I even like quote things that she said. I'm probably wasting my time. So a bunch of you are A. I would really think, because a lot of you are telling me in the comments that you're A, and I would honestly think that makes more sense than Dr. Rollins or Liam or Jordan. Vanessa says that, I guess, I don't know if it's Vanessa or Vanessa. Did you leave off the A, or I don't want to butcher your name. Mike is always protecting Arya. I think that he was protecting her from Charlotte. I just don't see Mike being A because he's literally not on the show at all. I mean, I don't know. But to be honest, Cece wasn't really on the show that much, and she ended up being A, so who knows. Veronica says that A does nothing in this episode. Something else that's really strange to me is that we saw A couple of weeks ago in these costumes, which I thought was hilarious. And I thought, at least I can look forward to seeing A in various costumes and laugh about it. And that will give me something to talk about in my videos. But he hasn't been back, or he or she. So I don't understand that either. So we had this A person lurking around, and now they're not lurking anymore. If they are, we're just not seeing them. I think it's just exhausting. I don't know. Let me ask you guys this question, since I know a lot of you feel the way that I feel about the show. What keeps you watching the show, even when we have very disappointing episodes like this? Nate is wondering how old Dr. Rollins is. Is he 30-ish? I think we're supposed to believe that. Well, that's a good point, though. I was going to say we're supposed to believe everyone's around 25 or something, but a doctor would have to have gone to school probably for at least 10 years. I would say he has to be about 30, right? Vanessa, awesome. So I don't want to I was like, I think it's Vanessa, but I don't want to mess your name up if it's not. Laura just wants to see how all of this ends. That's kind of why I'm in it. I just want to see because, who knows? They might throw something crazy out there and and it starts to make perfect sense, or I'm just like, wow. Veronica just wants it to end and hopefully someone to die. Oh, Tony is so sweet that I keep him watching this show. Steffi thinks that she needs to stop watching. I'm concerned, really. I'm just starting to think I don't know. I don't know what to do. Honestly, just want an ending so I never have to watch it again, says Rebecca. Yeah. Was Cece 30? What? I'm so lost here. Cece on the show was 30 when she died? Oh my gosh. What? Okay, wow. So I guess she was a lot. I guess that makes sense though. Was she Jason's age? Okay, that makes sense now. Steffi's been watching How to Get Away with Murder. It's really good. Really, really good. Hopefully you'll catch up if you haven't already caught up, and we can talk in those chats. Betting next week that they're gonna have photos of Hannah staring at Caleb lovingly and threaten their relationships. Hey, that's a good point, Noodles. Very good point. You know, I would be more into this show if they killed people more. I mean, that sounds terrible, but at least let's be like really out there. Let's kill some main people off. They've killed some people, yes, they have. But I feel like they're always killing like the random, not as important people. But I really think it's good when a show can kill off main people and just go with it, you know, they surprise us. Because there's a lot of shows I watch where they will straight kill one of the main people and it comes out of nowhere and you're just like, okay, wow. Thanks, Nate, for clearing that up. That makes sense. That says Scream Queens of me. It's actually very Scream and Scream Queens of me now that I'm hooked on Scream. Because if you haven't watched Scream, I'm sorry, I'm just going to throw that out there because this is something that's worth your time. Please watch it. It's only 10 episodes, and I'm getting ready to watch episode 7. It's so good. I'm going to be doing videos and chats on it when it comes back in April. But they will kill main people and a lot of other stuff, and it's just perfect. So I have to throw that out there for those of you looking for new shows and shows that don't disappoint you. And just let me say, I will never like recommend a crap show to you guys. Like, you know, I will never tell you. I would never like. Actually, one of my friends today was like, my friends in real life. She was like, she's like, I just started watching Pretty Little Liars and it's good. And I was like, yeah, it is. It was really good. But I said, you probably don't want to keep watching it just because it really isn't good now. And it's a lot of episodes to get involved in because it starts out awesome. It was an awesome show. And then you're just going to like hate it and hate yourself for watching it. Anyway, so Rebecca says Lucy Hale said that she would probably not come back for season 8 if they get one. They would probably kill her off in the season 7 finale. I really hope that they don't have a season 8. Emma's very excited to start Scream. Steffi is on season 1 of How to Get Away with Murder. Very cool. Yes. Get on Scream right now. By get on, I mean watch it because you will not be sorry. Like I am binging it, trying to finish it, not because I'm trying to hurry, because I love it and I want to know who the killer is. I think we learned who one killer is. I can't answer your question, Victoria, about Scream season 2. Is it definitely the same characters? Because I'm still in the middle of watching it and people keep dying. So let's just stop that there just because I'm afraid I'm going to get spoiled. But it's so good. Emma really wants one of the girls to die. I agree. They need to kill one of the girls. Not from cancer or AIDS or whatever. Someone needs to murder them. Okay, they need to do something shocking. It will never happen. I agree with you. They need to straight up kill one of those girls. Like soon. Like they need to kill them probably next week. Because it just needs something amazing to happen, you know? Even if A ends up being terrible and ridiculous and like Liam, I just feel like just kill one of them. Do something crazy. My favorite PLL season, you know, I really love the one that ended with the Toby reveal, and I love the one that ended with the Ezra reveal. I think that was 4. So both of those I thought were good. But honestly, the first season was incredible. You know, I loved it. I loved it for a really long time. So that's why it's hard, I guess, to come to terms with it now because it's been on for so long and it wasn't bad. I mean, it was, and I guess the hardest part of the show, it's not like other shows because they drug out the main villain. I don't feel like other shows ever drag out who is your main A. At least I thought they were telling us who the main A was last year. And they drug it out for so long that I was just so into that and expecting something amazing. That's kind of what I'm saying. Emily will probably be the one who dies. I don't think anyone's going to die. Veronica wants someone to kill Allie. Yeah, I mean, kill Allie or the other 4. I mean, really. Not because I dislike any of them, I don't, but that's what a show has to do sometimes. You know, there's other shows that I've watched where someone gets randomly killed and I'm like, wow, because it's a main character. And I like respect the show if they do it in a way that makes sense, even though I like the character. If one of the girls had to die, who would you want it to be? Probably Allison, to be honest. I feel like, you know, just because I guess we were so used to the 4 girls being together and for the longest time and her being the enemy. So like, I don't think it would be that big of a deal to the show if she got killed, because she was kind of dead anyway for a lot of it, or they thought she was dead. Um, anyway, yeah, it was funny with the Caleb and Hannah discussion about what to call the new big bad. That was funny. Season 5 was the most exciting season. What happened in season 5? Refresh my memory. Yeah, as Massimo says, Bethany and Hannah could be twins. A lot of people have definitely thought that. If one of the girls had to die, I'd want it to be Hannah. Don't hate her, but Spencer can't die, says Megan. I actually like Hannah probably more than some of the others. I really, really like Hannah. Tanner definitely needs to go. I could see them actually killing her. I'm surprised that she's back. I don't understand. Hopefully someone will kill her and shower Harvey, but I don't know. Yeah, as Reese said, someone will die on PLL. Probably not a main character. More people will die, but like you said, not going to be anybody good. Rebecca says it wasn't really worth bringing Allie back, and I think the CC storyline would have been better, or someone else could have been A. I feel like, yeah, it wasn't really worth it. I agree with you. What was season 5? Oh, the barrel crap? Oh, gosh, the barrel crap. No, I think that was when they were back trying to make Eddie Lamb look like he was somehow involved, or that he knew that Arya was someone who'd been in Radley before or something. I did like the old manipulative Allison. I really did like her better. Now I'm just kind of like, she is kind of boring, I gotta say. PLL needs to do an episode showing us everything that happened the night Allison disappeared. Absolutely, Megan, and I've heard other people say that. I would love that. Maybe there's hope that Allison could be A, Massimo. I'm not sure. Martin says Charlotte had enough money to kidnap the girls and take them to the dollhouse. She either had help or she didn't kidnap them at all. It has to be someone with a lot of money, like Ren. I mean, I would like it to be Ren. I really would. I just don't think they're going to go there. I don't know. The barrel stuff was awful. Says Francois talking about the barrel. The barrel was ridiculous because Marlene resolved who was in the barrel or what was in the barrel, like on an outside interview or Twitter or something. They never resolved it on the show. Allison's character is very boring now, says Noodles. I completely agree. If they bring one more person back from the dead, the show is going to lose even more credibility. I just think that's so ridiculous. I know a lot of you think Ian's still alive or Maya's still alive, but oh my gosh, we don't need that anymore. You can't keep doing that over and over unless you're The Walking Dead. You cannot keep bringing dead people back. They're turning Allison into a mom when she used to be Queen Bee. Yeah, you're right. They've totally changed their character, and I get that people grow up and they don't act petty anymore, and they are more mature, so I can kind of understand it. And I don't dislike Allie, but she's boring. She's really boring. What happened to Eddie Lamb? Was he in the barrel? No, it was like some kind of body from it was like an already dead body that Cece put in there, like someone who'd already died from the morgue or something. I don't know what happened to Eddie Lamb. They've never answered that question at all. Rebecca says Allison's a character that has been so worn out, it's not worth keeping her on. I agree. She really has no point, which I think, though, if they killed her off, it would be great because she doesn't have a point, so we're not going to like lose anything with the show. And then if they killed her, they would make, they could really promo that like one of the main characters is going to die, and then they can kill her, and it would be awesome. I think it would be so awesome because I don't think we would miss her. At the same time, it would be the show really doing something way out there, and I think it could get, the ratings up. I don't know. Why don't I go work for them? Like, I could give them such great ideas. I bet Sasha is bored of her scenes too, Emma. I bet a lot of these people are bored of the show, and I'm talking about the people who are on the show. I seriously think, that they read the scripts and they're like, oh no, look at this episode. It looks like a lot of fun. Maybe they never say that out loud, but they think it, the pom-pom things behind me, they're, thank you. They're like, just like a party decoration or something, just because my backdrop is so boring. And they're from Target, and I just thought they were cute. So they're just like a streamer, like a party streamer, because Kelly TV is a party every week, or at least I hope it is for you guys. So Mackenzie says, when they said that there was going to be a wedding this season, did they sue one of the girls, or I think it's Arya's parents for sure. I don't think it's one of the girls. I think, thank you, Francois. I think that they wanted us to think it was one of the girls, but I don't think that's going to happen. So we have just a couple of minutes left, and I just wanted to remind you or to let you know that if you are brand new here to Kelly TV, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. That way you never miss these videos, but you might be like, wow, she watches these shows too. You might find new shows to watch, because I know that's happened to a lot of you guys. You've like started watching something because I watched it. Because I think a lot of us have the same kind of taste in TV shows. So you might be interested. You might find new shows to watch through this channel. Also, if you are on social media, if you're on Twitter, I'm there. I'm a lot of places. I have all that down below. But Twitter is probably the best place. You're just going to pick one, because that's where I really update about new videos and live chats and so on and so forth. Right now, I'm currently covering How to Get Away with Murder, which is on Thursday nights. So if you love that show, or if you want to catch up on it, you can join me on Fridays for the live chat. That's at 6 p.m. also, but it's on Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. So I would love to see you guys there if you're a fan of How to Get Away with Murder, if you're catching up. If you haven't, it's an excellent show. So you should definitely get into that one if you like these kind of murder mystery types of shows. Thank you, Audrey. That is so sweet. So anyway, yes, I'm not finished yet because we still have 3 minutes, but I felt like I wanted to tell you something else. Oh yes, Quantico is coming back next month. So that's another show I will be doing videos for and I've never done that before, and probably live chats. So that's, if you're looking for another show to watch, you can catch up on that, because there's only been like the first half of the first season. If you live in the US, it is on the ABC app, and that is free. So check that out if you're looking for something new. And also Scream, which unfortunately I had to pay for the first season on iTunes here in the US, but I think in Canada and maybe other places it's on Netflix. I'm watching that right now, and I think it comes back in April for season 2, and it's great. So Lexi's asking, what is what about? I think maybe you mean Quantico, but let me know. What is the point of Tanner, says Veronica. Oh my gosh, your guess is as good as mine. Vanessa wants me to do a bloodline chat. I need to catch up on it. I feel like I've missed, maybe, I know I've missed the, I didn't finish the first season, so maybe I've missed a second season. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's a good show. You're so welcome. I'm glad you guys still come, even though you're frustrated like me, most of you, I feel like, and if you're not frustrated, that's fine too, because I know everyone isn't frustrated, and some of you guys really, really like it. Quantico is about people who are in training to be in the FBI in the US, and some stuff happens, some terrorist stuff happens, and basically one of the trainees was responsible or behind this terrorist act, and we have to try to figure out who it is, and it's very clever and very engaging. And one of you guys told me to watch it, and I get all my recommendations from you guys, to be honest, because you guys kept telling me to watch Scream for the longest time, and like so many people told me that I was like, okay, like after last week I was like, I'm checking it out, and I'm so glad I did. So far the stuff that you guys have told me to watch has been so good. So Bloodline hasn't come back yet, so I'll have time to catch up. Thank you, Vanessa. So we really are almost out of time. My video reaction about last night's PLL will be up tomorrow on my channel, so hopefully you'll check that out. If you happen to come in here late, you can watch this entire live show taped, of course. A few minutes after this is finished, it'll be up on my channel. So if I missed your comment, or you think of something else to ask me or talk about, then tell me, and we will talk, because I respond to everyone's comments. Also, for those of you who are watching Scream, I will be chatting to you without giving away spoilers to let you know what I think about the reveals and what I think about the end of season 1. I will not spoil at all, because I know some of you haven't watched. So thank you, Gokai. I appreciate it. So anyway, I guess I'll let you guys go, because it is 7 here in the Eastern time zone. You know, I love you guys so much, and I love that you keep coming to this app, even though we're frustrated. It blows my mind that you all still come and we can still chat. But basically, I'm just kind of here to chat with you on PLL, and just because I like talking to you guys, you know. So thanks, and it's good to, you know, share our frustrations together. But I love you guys so much, and if I missed your comment, it wasn't on purpose, so please leave it as a comment on this video when it's up, and I will reply, and I will see you guys tomorrow with my new video. Bye! See you soon!